Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost and we are dealing with narcissistic abuse, rapid recovery and reclaiming our sovereign power, life, true life force energy, gifts, potential, expansion, joy, love, connection, beauty in our lives, right? After this, that may sound far-fetching, but I promise it's possible for you. You were meant to live a beautiful life, right? I believe there is a million ways to do shadow work, and much as people say, well, you know, being through narcissistic abuse made me stronger, there are people losing their lives. If they're not losing it physically, it's emotionally, spiritually, and their entire purpose on the planet. So I'm extremely passionate about explaining the spiritual truth of this, which is that it is a spiritual war. It is dark against light. By giving them your life force, you're fueling the dark. If you're wondering why they're not getting their karma and your life's not working out, it's because you have to use your life force for love. You have to use it for good. And if you look at my 2 videos on love, it's not actually loving to support the narcissist, right? And the reason you know that is because it's depleting. Yeah, love is an abundant energy on the planet. It's a growth energy. It's a connection energy. You can't have connection, you can't have abundance, and you can't have love with a narcissist. So it's against humanity. A narcissist is against humanity. They are destructive forces, and it's not coming from love. So a lot of people want to know about the karma and I've been doing videos on that. I don't mean to, I'm not saying to dismiss it. It's a good question. It's a confusing subject. But the key to this is our own evolution, so that really, like, they have no power when we don't play. And our force for alignment with love and good and our true authentic power and purpose on the planet, which can be like, a purpose doesn't have to be something that you consider like changing the world. You change the world when you're just a happy, beautiful person that people can feel good around, right? That's enough. So it doesn't have to be something that you would consider great, but like, you are great when you're someone who lights up the room, someone who makes people feel good, you know, someone that can show empathy. That's already great, and it has a ripple effect, because for every person you make feel good and you pour love on, that then they thrive, they go and ripple effect it out in the world. And our force for good is so much stronger than theirs. If you think people in power right now on the planet, right, if you think they're more powerful than light workers, they're not at all. One light worker can shine a light so bright, right, that millions of people, thousands of people, we've seen this through religion and religious teachers, can be attracted to them with no force involved. Narcissists have to rely on domination, power and control. They've got to put you in traps in ways where you have no choice, right? Because they have no real power. Real power is like, I don't have to force you, persuade you, coerce you in any way. You want to be here, right? Because I'm shining a vibration that's a magnetic vibration to you, because it's coming from love. That's the power of us. We just don't know our power. They are dreading the day when we know. So here's the truth, right? When you withdraw from the narcissist, all your life force energy, they do get their karma. But I am a bit worried, because a lot, you know, I want us to use our powers for good. I don't want you hooked into the narcissist, not because I don't want you to, but because I know it's not the best thing in order to heal. While we're clinging on to the narcissist because we hope they'll change, when we're doing our own evolution and the work we're doing here, our own self-development, because we feel if we get developed enough, maybe we withdraw, they'll awaken. Our whole lives, like it already has been, is about them. That's what they want. You obsessed with them, ruminating about them, wondering what they'll do, wondering what's going to happen next. And they are the obsession of your life, which takes you away from you. Narcissistic abuse is a complete abandonment of self. You abandon you. You can't be there and not abandon you, because you are just what they need you to be, not who you are. So in Sovereign, which is opening on Monday, but don't even worry if you can't join that. That's not the point. My work is about you coming into you, your truth, power, connection with God, source, the universe, whatever you believe in, but a higher power than you that is coming from love, that is like a force of nature on this planet. And once we're aligned with that, there is no room for this other stuff, right? But we're the ones battering it. We're the ones powering it up. So when you withdraw your life force, they do get their karma. But we're not trying to go dark. So much as I can tell, like, I've seen it in my life. It does happen. Oh, they will get their karma. Not just because of this thing people say in psychology, like, oh, they're living tormented lives. They're not living tormented lives. They like what they do. They think they're better than you. They do. That's the truth. You will have heard them probably say it. They think they're above God. They think they're above love. They think that all those things they've got a lot of contempt for. Your kindness is something they think is weak. Your empathy and your emotional capacity and wanting to feel and wanting to connect, they think they're above that. They think it's inferior. They think they're entitled to your life force energy and any of your resources they choose to have. They're entitled to act in any way they feel like, no matter how you feel about it, because you're irrelevant to them. You are just what they need you to be. If you don't like, if you want monogamy but they don't like that, what you think and feel is irrelevant to them. They are totally entitled, and they think they've got the better life. They think, because I remember my brother, he was a complete narcissist, right? And this was so strange, it stuck in my mind. I didn't know at the time, but we were very young. And he sat me down, right? And he's done some, he was the one that told me to commit suicide. It was very strange. And I was very much like his life force. You know, like I would have done anything for him, because I thought, you know, we've been through the same things in life. But the thing is, we might have gone through the same experience, but one of us was light and one of us was dark. But he knew it. He told me when we were pretty young, he sat me down and said, you know what? You're the good, he said these words, you're the good angel and I'm the dark angel. And the problem with you is that you've got a conscience and I don't. He said many things to me since then, but he has no conscience. And he actually felt that was superiority. There's many narcissists, unfortunately, that I have met since then and been entangled with in business, in life, in love. It went on and on and on. Why? The stronger the light worker, the stronger the demon. They work through people. I don't think, like, why was I born in a narcissistic family? I'm not sure that, I do think we choose our families on some level as souls, but I also feel like when a light force comes on the planet, the dark gets the memo, you know what I mean? And they attack us. And therefore, it's until we know it's a psychic attack and how to push it away, we're vulnerable to it, but we don't know why. We don't know why. We haven't done anything yet that we view as particularly powerful. They know your power before you do. They know who you are. So, when you completely withdraw your life force with no enmeshment, no merging and no attachment, they do get their karma, right? But before you like set up on the couch with your popcorn and a soda, I need you to know that if you do it with the intention, the reason being to see what they do, you're still in the trap, which is why I've been a little bit delicate about dealing with how I tell you this part, because it's not that I'm ever going to withhold the truth. I'm just trying to get our intentions intact. As we expand our gifts on this planet, we can do such extraordinary things. You are so gifted, so powerful with what you can channel through and being from the light. It's way more, one of us in the light is way more powerful than 100 of them probably. They don't have any real power, which is why they have to trap, why they have to dominate, coerce, manipulate, mind F. And they do get their karma. And you're allowed, okay, I'm human too. You're allowed to have a small grin. You will have that moment if you do the things I'm teaching you, but I don't want our intentions to be there. We're not here to harm. That's not us. We're not going to be turned. But they do get their karma. People have commented on the channel already and said, like, you know, where they've seen it. They do get their karma. You're allowed, as a human being, I suppose, a couch moment with your popcorn and a soda and to think about it, and it does come. This is, God can't help you when you are consenting. This is what I got told. I said to you, like, God didn't just wake me up, he bitch slapped me. Like, I love him, like, not in that way, but you know what I mean? I was woken up, like, what the fuck, what am I doing, right? What I didn't know in all my, I've made videos on love and compassion and forgiveness, in all my, what I thought was love and compassion and kindness, that I was framing. I talked about my dad, everything they did in this context of love, because like for the discard, for example, I told myself because he couldn't stop abusing me, that it was more loving to discard me. Everything I framed in the context of love, because I have such a high capacity for love. It was never modeled for me in my life. It was natural to me. And I believe it's natural to human beings to be loving and kind and giving. I didn't have any of it for a long time in my life, especially not growing up, but I still could. I'm a great at loving people. I'm sure you are if you're here, right? It's the most innate thing, I feel like, for us as humans. And even with me, I mean, this is not typical. I know a lot of hurt people repeat abuse cycles. I've studied psychology, I've worked with a lot of people, right? But like, not all hurt people hurt people. Some people get even more kind. And even if you do, because of programming, doesn't mean you're a narcissist. Our innate nature is kindness and love. So when you truly withdraw your energy and don't care because you're completely sovereign and self-sourcing, yes, they do get their karma because you're their main source. A lot of the time, if you're here, you're probably the main source. They go for strong light workers because you're a very strong energy source. But we don't want to go dark, so we don't want to take a huge satisfaction, but they 100% do. They do. For everything God can't intervene while you consent. When you don't consent, trust me, they do get their karma. And probably at a higher extent to what they did to you, which sounds strange because you think, well, how could it get any worse than what they did to me? This universe is built on balance. More of us are being activated into the light right now because it's got so distorted and out of balance in this power dynamic. That's why we're all here. That's why there's such a strong activation from, channels like me. That's why we're really like moving it, because it is time. It is time, energetically, spiritually, for the balance to be restored. And I want you to make your healing about you, right? Because your life can be so beautiful, so like magnificent. You haven't got to worry about this side of things, this shadow, and you do not need it for anything. You can spiritually awaken on the planet by dealing with other people, doing shadow work, and evolve. You do not need a narcissist for it. They are not useful in that sense. They are just unevolved, unconscious, dead entities to a large extent in a human shell with some humanity in them. So that's why I'm saying they make a choice. They see your pain, they like it, they think it makes you inferior to them. That actually we need to drop the power supply on so we can turn the light on. The more you're not powering them, the more you're powering yourself and other people that deserve your love. When you pour love on the right people, they thrive. When you pour love on something dead, it just sucks and it doesn't thrive, it doesn't evolve. Even if it seems like, even if they see what they do, they just get a little bit more resource. They don't thrive. They don't come to love. They don't come to actual growth energy, abundant energy, which is love. So here's a little smackdown on trauma. It's quite funny, but I've just, earlier I posted the energy work, if you want to look at it, a PTSD, CPTSD, like a training. And now I'm in my full throttle on truth. Let's align with the truth. Let's align with ourselves. This is what we're here to be, our fullest expression of self and soul. We're not here to see. This is why God can't intervene, because you are fueling the dark unintentionally, right? Unintentionally, but we are. And some of us have got huge life force. I had a huge life force. So guess how much power, how much gas in the tank am I giving to the wrong side? Trying to fix them, trying to turn them, trying to rehabilitate them, when I could actually help so many more people in a good way. Not that we need, activate. I'd like to call it activating, right? Because I'm just activating you into you, right? That's it. You're already it. You just don't know it yet because you've been kind of shelled out, because they're a shell and they try and shell you out. Well, guess what? No more. Come into alignment. They do get their karma. They do get their karma. But none of us feel good about anyone having harm. But this is a universe that's designed to be in balance. It runs on our free will and their free will. They, you're a blessing in their life. And every time they're with you, they get to choose. And they're not choosing to come to the light. The divine is giving them a blessing. And they are saying no. They get their karma. But we're not here to play God, right? We're here to come from the light, and the universe will go into balance when we stop fueling, the wrong things for our overall highest intentions and outcomes. We culture, what's good for me is good for you, is good for the collective. That's how we decide, right? Not what we get pushed. I'm going to do something else on that actually. So I will leave that there. So I hope that's inspiring. I need to keep myself intact. Keep doing the exercises. Keep sharing your comments. Please please subscribe, please support my channel. I'm very passionate about really shifting people on this, right? I feel like if you tune into what I'm saying and you can feel it, you will move. You will move in a way you haven't moved before, right? So as in, you'll move your energy, you'll move your consciousness, you'll start coming back home to you. And then you'll start opening up to your connection and absolute, what I'm saying to you, if you feel it, it's because your soul knows. I'm not trying to convince your mind. Your soul knows. I'm reminding you what's inside you of your truth. You've known this truth. When I say it, the reason it doesn't shock you, the reason it feels like home, the reason you're like, yes, finally. Your soul knows. Your soul always knows the truth. And when truth is actually spoken boldly, like it actually just like, it's not like I'm trying to convince you. You know, and that is power. And we're about to really go into our own power on the planet. So this is a brilliant time on the universe. They do get their karma, but I don't want you to heal because you're waiting for them to change. It's not that I want. It's like, it's not healthy for you. It's going to keep you in the same trap. If you need to heal for them to change, waiting for them, you're still not quite at the breakthrough. If you need to heal because you want to see something bad to happen to them, we're still not quite in the alignment yet, right? And we want to do this in the right alignment. And it's okay to be a human being, and your human probably will get some satisfaction from it, and that's totally okay. You're allowed. You're 100% divine, by the way, and 100% human. We're not supposed to be so spiritual we forget we've got a human avatar that is like a little child inside, and it gets annoyed and it gets to vent its anger and have human reactions, and it doesn't mean that's the wholeness of who we are. We're not meant to resist our human. We're 100% divine and 100% human. We're not meant to be evolved over our humanity, but we're also not meant to dismiss our divinity, and our divinity knows the spiritual truth, right? 100% divine, 100% human. The human can go and rant on the mountainside and say all the horrible things and not take it out on the humans, but honor the fact that we're basically an inner child inside, always. So we're not here to reject our humanity. We're here to unite our divinity with our humanity and bring such brilliant, beautiful, powerful things that we are actually. The biggest trick of the narcissist is that until you know who and what you are, they win. And when you step into your sovereignty and your actual truth, they've got no chance whatsoever. This is the biggest con. So anyway, lots of love, guys. I hope that's inspiring, and I'll speak to you soon.